Hey guys, welcome to the stream. View Sports Talk starts in about 5 minutes. We're on a little bit earlier today. We had to sleep later because of yesterday's stream, but hopefully you guys are here. Happy to join us. Drop a like on the video. Let us know you're here in the chat. We'll be starting in a couple minutes.
Now we went earlier today because we want to make sure that we get a chance to watch the wild card game.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good. I have a feeling that's gonna be a goodie tonight.
Don't say it yet. Don't say we gotta talk.
No.
about that.
I just have a feeling it's gonna be a goodie.
Listen, that matchup is pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I think everyone's on Team Scherzer, but I wouldn't be sleeping on Wainwright either.
Wayno.
Do you know Wainwright's 40 years old now?
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I remember when he was the closer.
Yeah.
He's caught him his whole career.
He signed. He
called
re-upped for
Beltran
one more
Wilkins.
year. So he's gonna finish out. He's gonna finish out with Yachty next year.
Yeah. Listen, Wainwright's no joke, man. That's it.
Yeah.
No.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
He's a big game pitcher too.
He's no Nathan Eovaldi, but he's close.
Easy,
Yeah.
easy.
Dude, he went almost the first full inning without throwing a ball.
Who, Eovaldi?
Yeah. And then
Eovaldi's.
it's crazy. Like usually when you do that, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. That's
They were
crazy.
swinging early.
They were. That was
No, I didn't. I was
He
looking
was
for
at
articles.
4 pitches on the third batter already.
I was looking for articles like that would suggest that was their game plan. And honestly, guys, I didn't see one article that suggested that. It's just
No, yeah. It was just. It
Bizarre.
was something I didn't expect them because that's not usually their approach. I mean,
Yeah.
they're usually guys that work the count, see a lot of pitches, whether they're striking out or not, but they work the count. So when I seen them coming up and just hacking right away, I was like, what's going on here?
what up, Souls? What up, Vito? Cam,
Jack
Alexis
to
Rice.
be-
What's up, guys?
Jack to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We're going to cover it in our MLB prediction section. That'd be the first topic we go through tonight, Joe.
Welcome
Last
aboard.
night- Go ahead. What'd you say, Neil?
I was just saying, welcome aboard to our watchers. Make sure you leave those likes.
We're at 9
Like.
for 9 right. We're 9 for 9 right now.
9 for 9, batting 1,000.
That's a pretty good ratio. But they're not used to us being this early either, so
Yeah.
that's a good sign. We have 8 people watching and 11 likes, so that's interesting. People are just dropping, coming in to say hi, drop a like, leave.
First, I'm out of here.
They're like, oh shit, Pierre's on again tonight. All right, we're gonna leave. Last night was fun. I gotta tell you though, that was
It
fun.
was.
I think, listen, it would have been less fun if my team lost, but it was still. I think it's a good experience, man. I think it's a good way to kind of engage.
It
It
was
felt like we were in the same room watching the game together. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It's a learning experience for me. I got to get my snack situation better. That was a long time to sit without moving.
I had plenty of snacks.
Yeah, I messed up.
All I had was the
Snacks.
Who knows? Who knows? We make it big. We might get a snack endorsement deal.
Yeah.
What's the preference in snack deal? What's the
Where's that
what's the
Wawa
choice?
endorsement?
Uber Eats.
Nabisco has a good fleet of snacks.
Yeah.
I think I mean overall though, I think you gotta go with some sort of chips like Fritos or something
Yeah,
like
right.
Nah, man, I had
think one of
Cheez-It
those
Snaps.
meal
I love
delivery.
those things.
that.
I think
Cheez-Its
one of those meal
yeah, those are
delivery.
good.
Cheese it could be an endorsement.
Meal delivery services.
Keep having them like every show.
That
Let's see.
Nabisco is Cheez-It, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I believe so.
Shout out
Yeah.
to DoorDash, Uber Eats.
Eventually get like a Cheez It side
Delicious.
patch hat.
Mm.
The Cheez It collection.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun doing that last night, and I think it kind of forces our attention too. Like you had to, like, you know what I mean? Like for me, sometimes I'll zone out for a minute.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
You get like caught up in the game,
I couldn't zone out.
especially because you have a rooting interest. So you're like,
Yeah.
In it. Jason, when you guys played, is it Thursday?
think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think any game 7, game 5, in these
DS.
next or game sevens, we should try. Now we might not be able to do it, but if there is a game 5 or a game 7, we should try to stream.
People tune in for the heartbreak too. So they
Of
knew
course.
someone's heart was gonna get broken.
And the Braves don't play till Friday.
Wow.
Jesus.
All right, you fellas ready to get started here?
Yep.
Not a lot of people watching, but they usually pour in afterwards. And this does get some replay, so I like it. Nice, small, intimate crowd today.
Hey guys, welcome to View Sports Talk, another episode where we cover this week in sports. In the house today, we have Jason, me, Pierre, Kyle, Neil, and myself, Leon. We're here to cover 2 topics today. First topic is going to be handled by Pierre. Well, both topics will be handled by Pierre. So Pierre, take it away.
Well, we're going to start with some MLB playoff predictions. We did do those, but I think now it's starting to shape up. You know, we were debating whether or not to do this because we're still waiting on that wild card in the NL to be figured out, which I think is an interesting matchup. But we did kind of create sort of slides here, right? So we can show off or illustrate what our selections are. So Leon will take us through this. But who do we start with, Leon? Oh shit, we got like all kinds of stuff going on here.
Can you guys
Now you're really learning how the sausage is made. Leon's got presenter notes up.
Can you guys see this or no? Can you guys see my screen?
But Leon, you're in a presenter mode. I think that this is something that you would look at when you're presenting to somebody else, like on a dual monitor.
Let's get this right.
Who produces this show? What the hell?
I know.
There you go, Leon. You're good there.
Are we
All
good
right.
now?
There we go. There we
Yeah,
go.
Oh
win?
wow, look at
Is that what
this.
you guys
Who will win? Wow, this is dramatic. It's like, look at this. I love it, Leon. Nice job.
Yeah.
So who are we starting with, Leon? Who we got
I
up
believe
first?
it's the foxiest member of the panel.
Look at
Yeah.
this. Look at
Fox.
this. All right, Neil.
Wow.
So
Neil,
Neil, take us
explain
through your
yourself.
predictions. Oh wow.
All right. All right. Well,
Oh
Well,
Jesus Christ.
we'll start with tonight's game. I like the Dodgers tonight. You know, all along I've been saying, you know, Dodgers are going to come out of the NL. I'm going to keep it going. I got them tonight in a close one against the Cardinals. And then, you know, they play their arch nemesis, of course, the Giants. And I think they'll win that series maybe in 7 games. They get out of there, and you know the Braves in Milwaukee. Hey, you know what? It's the battle of the old Milwaukee and current Milwaukee. So
even with Milwaukee's kind of tripped up bullpen.
yeah, I don't know. I'm just going. I'm leaning Brewers there. The Brew Crew get it done, and then the Dodgers beat them in the NLCS. American League. I like it as impressive as the Red Sox looked last night, Pierre. I'm going to take the Rays in that series, and the White Sox in Houston. I'm going to go with an upset here. I'm going to White Sox. Yeah, I've had them in months back. I had the Dodgers and White Sox. I got to go with my first guess. You know, you go with your first answer, so I'm gonna keep it going. So I'm going to go with the White Sox there, and then they get by the Rays to go to the World Series against the Dodgers, where the Dodgers will repeat as World Series champions.
You know, that was a very passionate journey you took us on.
I like it.
And the Phillies weren't even there. So who's up next? Nice job, Neil.
I'm used to that.
We got Kyle.
So going back
Hey.
on Neil's, you know, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers tonight. I think Scherzer's on the mound for them. I like Wainwright, veteran. He's been there, but I think when it comes down to it, Scherzer's just gonna dominate. Does what he does. The offense is gonna be able to produce some runs. So I'm gonna go with them. I'm also going with Milwaukee only for the fact that I like their starting pitching a lot better than Atlanta's. Corbin, Burns, and Peralta. And the other guy, God, what's his name? Anyway, I forgot it. It don't come to my memory. But I got the Milwaukee advancing to the LCS. The Dodgers, I just think they're too strong overall. They got everything you need. With that trade at the deadline with Scherzer and getting Trey Turner, I think that kind of made them that much better. So I got them going to the World Series in the National League. AL, obviously the Red Sox broke my heart last night. But I think even if the Yankees would have advanced, I think Tampa Bay is just too good of a team. They got it all. They can hit, they can pitch. They got the best run differential, if I'm not mistaken, in the league. They just seem to get it done no matter what. So I have them advancing to the LCS, and I'm going to go with Houston. The White Sox had a good season. I think they benefited a lot off of playing in that weak division. I still don't think they have it yet. Astros have experience. They've been there. So I'm just going to go with Houston. I think they have the better overall team. And then I got them actually beating the Rays to go to the World Series. I know that might sound a bit shocking, and I hate the Astros, but I believe they have the team that can compete out of all the other teams in the American League. They can compete the most with the Rays. And I just
they have a postseason pedigree on that.
Yeah,
on that
they've
roster,
been there. So I
Tampa
think
Bay does too, but it's a little deeper in Houston.
Yeah, so I mean it's a toss up, but I think Houston could definitely get there. And then in the World Series, Dodgers, Houston, rematch of 2017. I think the Dodgers, man, they just got so much stronger at the deadline. Their pitching staff is great with Scherzer. Obviously, Kershaw's probably not going to be around. Muncy also got hurt for them, so that might hurt them. But I mean, I think they're just loaded, man. They have everything you pretty much need. And I'm going to go with them to win the championship this year, win the World Series.
All right. Kyle, nice, man. And thank you for being such a good sport yesterday. I can't say that enough. As I watched the tears form in the corners of your eyes,
That's right.
I could feel for you. I could feel for you. All right. And who we got up next, Leon? Oh, he's angry too.
Yeah. A little bit different than the first two guys. I'm taking San Francisco all the way to the World Series. I don't know why. I think it's just their time, the way they've been playing all year long. I think they're due. It's not an even year, so that's why they're not going to win the World Series. I do have my Braves. I mean, it would be hard to not pick your team to go at least one round. That Brewers starting pitching is incredible. I think if the Braves can get out early on them and force them into the rotation or into their bullpen, they can get a little advantage there. In the Sox-Houston series, that's a pick 'em to me. So I went with Houston. And then I got Tampa Bay taking it all this year.
Wow.
Nice.
Risky.
This is the first Tampa.
Risky.
How's that? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Tampa. You can definitely be right though.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah.
All right. So I went off the board. I went completely off the board.
Oh wow.
I went for
Weird shit
chaos.
here.
Total chaos. So I'm with Jason. I hope I'm not right with Tampa. I hope I'm not right. I hope Boston can take them out. Their fans are getting really annoying. To me, everything says
both of their fans are annoying to me. I mean, every time I go online, both of those fans are around, lingering. Both
of them. They had to separate them, and because you can't even have them congregate next year and send half their team to Montreal. But anyway, everything.
Their fan base is literally picking between bingo and a Tampa Bay Rays game. That's literally what they're choosing between.
Half their locals are retired Canadians. That's why. But anyway, everything in my head says the White Sox will lose. They got worse defense, less playoff experience. But for some reason, I have them coming out from Houston. Hopefully, Houston takes them for granted or looking past the next round. And the same thing, I feel like with the Cardinals. The Cardinals could get. They are extremely hot right now. We'll see if their guys can get it done. They got Matt Carpenter on the bench. Harrison Bader, Tyler O'Neill, I think are stars in the making. So we'll see if they can get it done. And then I have Craig Counsell's, the Arizona great.
Oh, Jesus
his
Christ.
Brewers. He knows a lot about winning in the playoffs. So I have them making it to the World Series.
Oh, that's great, Liam.
Them losing Devin Williams is a big blow to the bullpen, but Josh Hader's for real. They're starting pitching's for real.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jason. You say their bullpen. I think their bullpen's their strength for Milwaukee. I think you don't want to get into their bullpen because when you do, it's just about over. But we'll see.
Those 3 starters though are crazy.
Yeah, Woodworth.
Yeah. Now they got a great starting rotation. They got a great rotation, but I'm saying their bullpen is a strength.
Yeah.
We'll see if Atlanta's luck runs out. I mean, they did good adding off they went discount shopping and all the add-ons they did to your offense. They were great plugins, but we'll see if that magic runs out. And then
last
all right.
So I'm going to start in the NL. I've got Wainwright over Scherzer. I think Wainwright, if there's anybody that can match up in a postseason game with Scherzer, it's Wainwright. I think that team is on fire. I don't think they're cooling off anytime soon. I think they're gonna go the distance with San Francisco, but San Francisco is gonna come out on top. But I do have St. Louis winning this wild card game tonight. I just see it happening. I do think the Braves are going to continue to ride this recent success and get past Milwaukee, but I just think San Fran's going to be too much. Now, for all those LA fans out there, I know you're going to say, "Oh, you're crazy." Listen, you want to win your division. You don't want to be left at the mercy of a one-game wild card. You do not want that. That any LA fan that's telling you it didn't matter, they're smoking. I want whatever it is they're smoking, because you do not want to be in this position. You have a puncher's chance. It doesn't matter who you're playing in. 1-game playoff, you can lose. And
one swing, and you're out of the playoffs. And
I'm willing to bet a couple of St. Louis Cardinals are going to run into one early on in the game, get Scherzer off the block a little bit, and they're going to be playing catch up all night. Now, that's my guess. I mean, I could be wrong, but again, what's it matter if I am wrong? But I've got San Francisco. Wire to wire, they've been the best team in the NL. You're going to have LA fans say, "No, we were." Well, no, actually you weren't. It was San Francisco. San Francisco is the best team in the NL from wire to wire. And that's the way it's going to stay, in my opinion. Now, you go to the AL, I'll say this. I'll say TJ is one of my best friends, but I got to say the weak division stuff isn't a cop-out. It's a reality. So I think those teams that come out of the AL East are battle-tested. They beat the shit out of each other every single night. And there's only one pushover in that division, and it's the Baltimore Orioles. So when you think about that, they're super familiar with each other, right? They're super familiar with each other. They beat each other up. And I think that gives a leg up to both Boston and Tampa Bay with whoever gets out of that battle. But my heart's saying Boston, my head says Tampa Bay. Gosh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope Boston beats them, because they are a smarmy little group. They are like they're the pesky little pains in the asses. You just want to kick their ass, and I'm really hoping the Red Sox do. But my head's telling me Tampa Bay, and I got Houston obviously overpowering the White Sox. I just don't think the White Sox have enough to hang with a group such as Houston. They're strong. And I think it's going to be a 7-game series between Houston and Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be Tampa Bay, San Francisco, and then I think San Francisco is going to come out of that battle as World Series champion. And I think that would tie them with the Red Sox, right, for the most championships this century.
Yeah,
four.
Yeah, it would be the same as the Red Sox. So, that's what I see, everybody. But we'll see. That's my playoff predictions. And Leon, I'm sure you're going to save the screenshots here, and we can look at these.
I saved the whole keynote. So.
Oh wow! All right, so we'll have the whole thing.
We'll have the whole thing on paper.
All right,
that was fun.
That was fun.
No one had the same bracket.
Listen, I'm excited for this game. So we'll probably go up to 8-10 here. We're gonna get through the NFL stuff. We got a half an hour, and then we're gonna watch this game. But man, I would not be shocked if St. Louis beats LA. I really wouldn't.
Yeah, they're the boogeyman. They're the boogeyman team, that's for sure.
And they're scary, man.
Max Muncy's out. That's a big bat for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Betts isn't having a great year.
Yeah, Bellinger didn't have a great year.
They're not like, listen, there's a lot of names in there that scare the shit out of you, right? But when you look at them statistically on the offensive side of the baseball, it's not, it's good, but it's not like what it was like last year to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. The names are more scary than the actual production on the offensive side of the ball. Now, the next thing we're going to do, guys, I don't know whose phone that is.
My fault. That's me.
Oh, no, it's you. Okay. It's got to be someone texting you about the Yankees. So let's get into this. So what we plan on doing is our 3 key takeaways, right? From the NFL so far. And I think there may be some overlap, which is cool. I'll start with mine and kind of get it started. And I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on mine. And then we'll kind of go person by person and get through these. So it's been a pretty eventful start of the NFL season, I'd say.
Yeah, it has.
And I'll say the one thing I think we all laughed at was when Leon proclaimed he read something. Right? He read something in some NFL preseason annual, right? Like he did. He read something, Lindy's or one of those old magazines, right? That said you
fantasy
should
football research.
If you want to impress your friends, pick Arizona, right? That's what he read that somewhere, and then he came on the show and he says, hey, Arizona's going to do some magical things this year. But my first takeaway happens to be Arizona. I think the sexy picks are the Buccaneers and the Rams, but I think Arizona is the cream of the NFL crop right now in the NFC. A couple reasons, right? So first, Kyler Murray has done something phenomenal, which is he stopped running so much and he started to throw the ball. And I'm talking in an extremely balanced fashion. He's thrown the ball to 3 main targets and it's balanced. They're each getting the same amount of targets, the same amount of receptions. It's a really quality balanced attack. So they're leading the league in offensive yardage, points per game. I mean, they're doing what Leon guessed they were going to do. And I think, the Rams were the choice, I think, by a lot of us when we started about how great they're going to be and this and that. And then we scoffed at Arizona, but Arizona is the cream of the NFC crop. And I take them even over Tampa Bay. That's my first takeaway. My second takeaway, this Pats Patriots and Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, it proved 2 things to me. Number one, Brady and Belichick needed each other. So there's no talk. Like everyone's trying to make it a decisive sort of proclamation. Like, no, it's Brady or no, it's Belichick. No, it's fucking both of them. That's it. Like, I mean, let's just let that rest, because in all honesty, they were just inches away from beating the Buccaneers. And I mean, listen, that's great coaching. That's a great game plan. The defense was ready. And Brady benefited from that. I'm a huge Tom Brady fan, but he benefited from that for many years. And the second thing is in regards to that, the other thing that it proved to me is Mac Jones is for real. Now, are they going to be in the playoffs this year? Absolutely not. Are they going to be in the playoffs next year? Maybe. But are they going to be winning 3 years from now? 100%. There's no doubt. I think this guy's composed. He's calm. He's got an arm. He's got all the makings of a great NFL quarterback. I feel good about where the Patriots are going, and this past week proved that to me. Next piece, the Chiefs are in trouble. That's my third takeaway. They're in absolute trouble. Their defense is about as porous as it comes. They're giving up the second most yards per game, the most yards per play, the second most points in the league. They are absolutely horrendous, which is putting a ton of pressure on Mahomes. And honestly, I'm not liking what I'm seeing from them. Now they're entering a matchup with the Buffalo Bills, who have statistically the best defense in football. Right?
Yeah.
So this isn't going to be a momentum shifter for them. This is going to be more of the same. So for me, the Chiefs are digging a pretty big hole for themselves. And if they don't get that defense right, they're fucked, so to speak. So those are my 3 takeaways. Any thoughts on those guys?
No, go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
I was just saying, I think the Chiefs have been, relying on Patrick Mahomes to bail them out.
Yeah.
The defense can give up 35 points a game because Mahomes is going to score 40, right? Well, They're not scoring 40 this, at least early on in the season. And so you're seeing that that kind of defense isn't going to work.
Yeah. They can't stop the run at all.
No.
And
Baltimore
I saw
down
them
to sixth running back.
Yeah, you gotta end up being able to stop somebody at some time. and they just don't do it. Like Jason said, we know Mahomes is great, but I mean, if you're too dependent on him just constantly having to put up 300-400 yard games, and that's just not going to happen.
But if you can't stop the run, you're done, because
exactly,
you're going to keep him off the field. So that's the thing. So if you can rack up a good little 14-point lead on this team, and you're going to take the ball right out of Mahomes' hands.
Yep.
Man, I saw them in person this past Sunday. And to me, I walked away with that feeling more that, the Eagles lost the game more than the Chiefs won the game. The Eagles just moved the ball. I mean, there was no punts in the game, first of all, but the Eagles they moved the ball at will on that defense. The problem is when he got into the red zone, the Eagles just kept getting in their own way. But yeah, the Chiefs, that defense, that's going to be problematic, particularly when you go up against teams that are able to finish drives on them. And there's a lot of really good teams in the AFC that are going to be a problem for them, as the season wears on.
Definitely.
All right. Well, those are my 3 takeaways. I'd love to move on to let's move on to Kyle. Kyle, what are your 3?
So my first takeaway is that I'm pretty impressed with the Cowboys are doing right now. I think we've always, the Cowboys have always had talent, position players, wide receivers, Zeke Elliott, Mari Cooper, and guys like that. But I think Dak Prescott is really showing that he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I believe he's top 10 and top 5 in passer rating. He's up there. He got about 10 touchdowns on the season. Zeke looks like he's a little bit, he's playing with some energy. He looks fresh. CD Lamb, they got Amari Cooper, like I said, but I'm impressed with their defense, actually. Last year, their defense was going to be historically one of the worst defense of all times. But this year, I don't know, with the addition of Dan Quinn, if he's able to, he brought some new life to them. But I'm definitely impressed with the Cowboys. They play in the NFC East, so that's not, saying much with the competition which they have to play. But I'm impressed with them. Go. sorry. So
it's okay, man.
My second team, my second take, the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. Ben Roethlisberger is finished. He is finished. And I think they're in a situation now where maybe for the past couple of seasons, you could kind of see his trajectory was going down.
Yeah.
And they didn't get anybody. They didn't re-up or draft a quarterback. I mean, I know they picked up Dwayne Haskins, but I don't think anybody's expecting him to do anything. But I think they're in a situation now where they have a good defense. They got TJ Watt and guys in the defensive end, but offensively, and the main reason is because Roethlisberger is just he's not good anymore.
He's so broken, it takes him 5 seconds to even do his 5-step drop. And
you're right. You're right. It's crazy too, right? Because you're watching Tom Brady just outlive all of these guys. You're watching. Now you're starting to see guys that came in way after him starting to go, and it's crazy to watch. And I don't want to make it about Brady again.
But for sure, it's
insane. You're watching all these teams,
right? Because you see the way he's playing at 44, and I know Ben obviously with the different types of quarterbacks. Ben got a lot of beating through his career when he, but still, it's just to see how he's finished. He's literally finished.
Done.
He's done, man.
He should not take another snap.
Exactly. He's done. And now, Pittsburgh's in a situation where they kind of, what do they do next pretty much? So they're 1-3, I think, at the moment, if I'm not mistaken.
They're 1-3.
So yeah, they're struggling right now. And my third take is I've been really, really impressed with the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert obviously was a first-round pick last year. I believe he was like the 7th or 8th pick. A couple of teams passed up on him that could have had needed a quarterback and just passed him up. But the kid's good, man. He could make every throw on the field. They got some good weapons on offense with Eckler and Allen. Defensively, they got a good defense as well with Joey Bosa, Derwin James, and guys like that. So they're 3-1. They beat the Chiefs a couple of weeks back. Pretty impressive. So I take the Chiefs the Chargers as, it's still early in the season, but I've been pretty impressed about them, and especially how Justin Herbert has kind of been the reason why they've they've been so good.
Listen, great takes. I think I'm in agreement with those. I mean, Ben's got to hang it up. That's for
Yeah,
sure. I mean, that's the biggest thing that, and Dallas, man, I love to hate Dallas, but I got to agree with you, man. That the defensive turnaround is a big difference maker. I mean, they were the Chiefs last year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like their
They
defense.
couldn't stop anything.
And this year too, another thing, don't forget Seattle's defense is terrible too. And that's a team that was always predicated on great defense, which is interesting to see as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to hand it off to you, Jason. What are your takes?
I'm going to build off a lot of what you guys said, at least talking about quarterbacks. I know we have a couple older ones, but I've been really, really impressed with the younger quarterbacks so far this season. Your Kyler Murrays, your Josh Allens, your Justin Herberts, even the rookies, Mac Jones, 19 pass completions in a row on a Sunday Night Football. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You got Trevor Lawrence. I know his team's playing rough, but he's shown a lot of promise. The NFL is in really good hands with this young crop of quarterbacks that they have, all under 25 years old. I mean, we talk about Mahomes being the next thing. He's the old man of the group. He's at 26. So I've been really impressed with the young quarterback play and how mature and how NFL ready they are coming out of college. So that's one takeaway for me. Another takeaway is just the balance in the league. It's only week 4, and we're down to one undefeated team. That's crazy to me. The Dolphins are, going to be popping their champagne here anytime now. And usually it takes us into double-digit weeks in order to get to that, last undefeated team. But everybody's, capable of beating everybody. Except for maybe a couple.
Listen, this is what the NFL wanted, though, right? They wanted parity. I think with the rule changes and the way they were kind of the Patriots ended up being the parity buster, but now it looks like it's working. So
and we only have 2 teams that haven't won yet, too. So I mean, a lot of parity. And then my third takeaway is the West is the best. The AFC West, the NFC West have really been shaken out. The AFC West is quite a surprise with how good all 4 of those teams have looked so far this season, especially with the Raiders and the Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater has been a big upgrade there in Denver, and they're playing really well. I mean, the Chiefs are last place in the AFC West, and a lot of people have them, particularly to go to the Super Bowl. The NFC West, outside of Seattle, all really, really solid teams. I would not want to play any of those teams in the postseason. Just the strength of the league has moved out west this year.
Great takes.
Nice.
Which of the rookie quarterbacks do you like best, Jason?
After Sunday night, Mac Jones. I mean, I'm really impressed with just his poise, his decision making. He's going to be a really, really solid quarterback. Unfortunately, Trevor Lawrence, I think he's got more physical ability, but he just doesn't have the offensive line there in Jacksonville. He's getting no time to throw. Of the rookies, Mac Jones, Justin Fields is kind of the same boat as Trevor Lawrence. Just still learning the system, hasn't had a lot of time yet. And with Montgomery being out for 4 to 5 weeks, that's not going to help either.
No, I like that McDaniels is with him. I think it's a good pairing.
Yep.
All right. Neil, how about you, man? What are your takeaways?
First and foremost, it's been a very entertaining season. I've been very impressed, as Jason said, with all the young quarterbacks playing. It's great to see. I think we're in a spot right now where there's just so much young talent at the quarterback position in the NFL, and it's just great to watch. And off of that, I gotta say, man, hey, Ohio. When you have the Browns and Bengals both playing at a high level, it's great to see the Bengals.
It's good to see the Bengals are staying out of prison and on the football field.
But they have a very good young nucleus of players at the offensive positions, and they're a fun team to watch. Saw them the other night against Jacksonville, and yeah, I mean they're a fun team. They've been one of the early surprises, I would say, in the season, and they're battling it out with the Browns for supremacy in that division. And also to back up what Kyle was saying, I was going to bring up Justin Herbert as one of my three standouts as well. I'm just very impressed with the young guy. He has been a very impressive quarterback. That team has played really well. And I mean, hey, if you're a Charger fan, I mean, you go from Phillip Rivers to Justin Herbert. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's living good at the quarterback position for that franchise. And he's been very impressive. That team's been very impressive. And it's great to see. Like I said, it's nice to see some new young blood coming in, right? You have the old stays and, the teams that you always see, you always know. But it's nice to see a Cincinnati, an LA Chargers, do some things and get involved. And I know it's only 4 weeks in, but to this point, it's been a nice, refreshing thing to see.
Hey,
and
it's happening. What their vision is coming to fruition. So for all of the commissioner's faults, this was his vision, was to create parity.
I mean,
and different teams able to win and create this more of a level playing field. And listen, you got to give him credit. As much as I can't stand the guy, give credit where credit's due. Because this is certainly starting to shape up. I mean, maybe it changes, but it certainly feels like it's working. But that's fantastic. Thank you for the takeaways, Neil. And Leon, we're going to end with you, big fella.
Yeah, I think a lot of the popular stuff kind of got talked about, so I'm going to go off the board a little bit. And they always talk about like these superstar coaches from college coming over to NFL, and how it's always a disaster. Jacksonville looks like a complete and utter disaster. Urban Meyer's just looking like he's trying to get fired right now so he can take the USC job. He's getting grinded on by Ohio.
How many guys are able to do it, honestly?
There's only been, I think, to my recollection, obviously,
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll's been the only one, really. I mean,
he was an NFL guy first.
No, he was. Yeah, you're right. He was with the Jets first.
Yeah.
Then you're right. They usually don't say. You know why I think it's difficult for guys that come from the college profession to the NFL. In college, you're dealing with 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids.
Well, you're picking all the groceries too.
Yeah, no, exactly. You have a lot of
say over personnel.
You have say over
if you're in something like, if you're in a place like Alabama or one of these big football schools, right? You come in with immediate credibility and power to select and pick your own groceries.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Leon. Let's get back to Leon because we all jumped on top of that. Because Leon, that was such a great topic, Leon. Because you're right. I mean, it's a mess, but the transition. Listen, it's like the skill sets don't necessarily transition over because it's not X's and O's that make a lot of these college coaches successful. No, they have people for that.
Yep.
It's the selection of the talent.
Yep.
And it's different. Like if you're in a big school, you can walk in anywhere and get, unless it's like one of the most prime candidates that you go. That's different. You're gonna have a little bit of a battle there, right? Yeah. But overall, you're getting what you want to get.
Yeah, like Urban Meyer, all his years at college at Ohio, Florida.
Yeah. He was Saban doesn't even need a pick anymore.
Exactly.
Show up at his front door.
Him.
That's what I mean, man. That's what I mean. You have all this power and credibility, and it has very little to do with X's and O's, because really that falls on the shoulders of all of the coordinators and all of the coaches on the staff. What their savviness comes in, their charm, their charisma, the credibility of their university behind them. Yeah, it's a different, you get the NFL, it's like, fuck you, Urban Meyer. Guess what? Yeah. I make 10 times as much as you.
Exactly.
And you don't impress me with your bullshit. I think that's what ends up happening. Right. Yep. And the leadership it's not translatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they also didn't do him any favors. So they pretty much have the best prospect of all time. with Trevor Lawrence. They had another first round pick and they took a running back. They already had a running back that was a Pro Bowler last year. So they made some weird decisions.
That's trying to utilize a Belichick sort of approach, which is take the best player on the board, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that with offensive players. If you watch him, it's very rare that he's applying that logic to an offensive player. He applies that logic to a defensive player, and you get these other people trying to play copycat.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened there. But either way, it's stupid.
Yeah. When Urban Meyer in college, when he was going against most teams, he knew more than likely his team was coming in there to beat the shit out the other team they were playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the NFL, man. It's just not
he only had to prep like 2 weeks out of the year.
Exactly, right? The NFL, it's a weekly, not even a weekly, it's a daily thing where you have to be in the coach's room, game planning, checking out film. And maybe this is just not something he's built for.
Like Alabama doesn't have to game plan all year long until the SEC championship game.
So it's tough, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Sorry, Leon.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's a fun topic.
No, but that's a good topic though, Leon. I mean, for sure.
Yeah. And my second topic was two teams that started off with really slow starts. They look terrible, but then I've kind of read the ship. The Buffalo Bills and Green Bay Packers actually look like contenders. They're everyone's sexy picks to go far. The Green Bay Packers going back to week 1 looked horrendous. Now they look
terrible.
Like, pretty good team. So who knows what's gonna happen there?
I don't see Green Bay making a difference this year. I just don't.
They'll
win that division.
I'll tell you, they do look better. You're right, Leon. It's a meteoric change from the first week, right? But
yeah. Well, we wrote them off the first game after the first. I'm like,
I don't think they're hanging. I don't think they're hanging with the big boys in the NFC. Tampa Bay, LA, and Arizona, man. Believe it or not, I can't believe that's coming out of my fucking mouth. But Arizona. I mean, they're not hanging with those three teams. They're just not. They're just not.
I mean, they'll walk through that division to the playoffs. So that division's absolutely horrendous.
Well, and that's another reason why it's. Gosh, I mean, it's going to sound like I'm being hypocritical, right? Because the Patriots made their bones by.
The AFC East.
AFC East, but they still found a way to be competitive and to turn it on with the right teams.
Yeah.
But I'll be interested to see what Green Bay's record is outside of that division.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the real test. I don't give a shit about their record. Yeah. I give a damn about their record outside of that division. That's the reality.
And then my last takeaway is I think football looks really good in LA. Kyle talked about the Chargers, but the Rams look really good. I think last year was one of the first years that a home team hosted, right?
First time ever. Yeah.
So everyone's kind of cheering for the Rams this year. That's a sexy pick. SoFi Stadium's got the Super Bowl, $5 billion stadium. So who knows? Yeah.
I continue with your point, but I got something to bring up about SoFi.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking about Justin Herbert, but I think Austin Eckler is their running back is an amazing running back. I have him on fantasy team, so I have a rooting interest. Keep doing things, Austin Eckler. You helped me win Monday night. But yeah, those are my 3 takeaways. So.
When I hear SoFi, I always think like Canadian Wi-Fi, like soft Wi-Fi. That's what I keep thinking every time I hear SoFi. That's what I'm gonna call Leon's Wi-Fi.
So how do you build a $5 billion stadium
in Inglewood,
but don't build the walls up high enough to prevent a lightning delay? A weather delay.
Did you see what Steve Young said?
What's that?
So Steve Young and it was a couple of people on the field when they had to delay the game, and he's like, "You're telling me that the players can't be on the field because of their safety, but we're out here talking about this."
There's a roof on the damn thing. It's just because there's open air
at the top, right?
Very, very top.
So not only do you have to get the likelihood of getting struck by lightning, but now it has to like seep through a crack.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't know lightning goes sideways.
This is crazy, man. Well, actually, lightning comes from the ground up, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Like, I know they aren't ever counting on having rain during game days there at SoFi, but it was just crazy to see a weather delay in a dome stadium.
I'm with you, Jason. That's fucking stupid. That's almost as bad as what I thought SoFi stood for, which is Wi-Fi. All right, so guys, this was good, man. I think this was a nice little 45 minutes, right? Spent together, time well spent. Just for everyone out there, if you could hit that like button on your way out, we appreciate it. That'll help get some replay value. Some folks out there that may not have seen this live, it'll kind of push it up to the top of their queue. And you know what? Just as a little teaser, I guess, or a little like where our heads are at, we're gonna start looking at a potential game of the week sort of thing where we stream a game of the week, and we're gonna use some visuals while we're doing that based on the respective apps for those leagues that I think will be helpful. And it'll allow for a better following along and whatnot. And at times we'll find people outside of our little circle here that maybe have a rooting interest in the team. Someone that we think that would add value to that sort of thing. And we'll go from there. But I think this is shaping up to be kind of a dual sort of laned channel, which is going to have tons of hat content that's never going to change. That's what started here, but it's allowed us to evolve a little bit as the hats slow down temporarily. It's allowed us to evolve and create a second lane for us to kind of connect and engage around sports, which is another fantastic thing for us to do with each other. And I think these live streams will be monumental once we get them figured out around like the watch parties,
Yep.
And it was a great start. I mean, what better way to start than Red Sox Yankees?
Especially with the Yankees losing. That's
yeah,
a great way to start.
Listen,
The good guys are 1-0.
I don't know if I said this on the air, but I don't know if I said this on the air, but my dad was absolutely, he's made a new best friend. Like Leon and Jason were his old friends, and he loves Neil's shows too. But he said, gosh, Pierre, I like that Kyle. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I didn't like him much last night. He's like, yeah, I like him. He's a nice guy. I can't believe he kept it together. I said, Dad, he kept hitting the mute button. I think he was
I think when he was hitting a few go that I didn't want to get on the live.
Now I'm gonna tell my dad I'm gonna cut that part out where your cute little nephew popped in there and you said, "Get out of here, nephew!
Get out of here!
Right.
You're disturbing."
He came up all nice. He's like, Uncle Kyle, what are you doing? He's like, "Get out of here!" That's a close uncle, though. That's a close relationship for Kyle to be saying, "Get out of here!
Get out of here! Go!"
Yeah, get out of here, kid. But no, this was fun, guys. This was fun. So. With that, you guys have any last words before we wrap up for the evening?
Game one. Not game one. San Luis, LA. Couple of minutes.
Leon and Jason I have one thing to film for 3.5 minutes, and then we're done. Then we're going to go park our asses in front of the game.
I know I picked the Dodgers, but I'm rooting for the Cardinals.
That's it.
Cardinals. Anyone else like the Cardinals? Leon did, right? Leon and myself.
Yep.
Leon and I selected the Cardinals, so we'll see, fellas. All right, Leon, big fella, take us away.
All right, guys. Make sure you guys drop a like on the video on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Viewsmanvault.com for official merch. Podcast available on all major streaming platforms. For Neil, Kyle, Jason, Pierre, and Leon, we out, guys. Stay fit.
See you, everybody.
Peace.